It's Teresa's birthday tomorrow, actually in like 2.5 hours here in Netherlands time. And I went out on a bike ride with her earlier, and it rained on us, which I could have predicted before we left, but I did it anyway. We spent the day in Rotterdam. We spent hours at the Dutch Pinball Museum. I'm back from Pinburg. There's a lot going on in pinball, and here we are for episode number 235 of Coast to Coast Pinball. Let's go. Welcome to Coast to Coast Pinball. My name is Nate Shivers. This is a podcast. It's a commentary. My man out of quarters. We're here to talk about pinball and maybe some other stuff. How's everybody doing? It's Saturday night, August 5th, 2017. Coming to you not live from a cool, chilly, rainy Amsterdam, Netherlands, here on the European continent. It's dark out. The sun's actually setting before 11 p.m. The days are getting shorter. That's a good thing. That time change thing, not the time change, but the daylight change was really messing with me. It would stay light outside till 11 o'clock, and then sunlight starting at 5 a.m. Really frustrating trying to get a lot of sleep, but that's fixed itself. There's so much going on. I mean, there's a lot going on right now. I'm back from Pittsburgh, back from Pinburg, spent a little over 2 weeks in the United States, capped off with an amazing time in the Steel City at Replay FX at Pinburg. We will dive into that tonight. Teresa and I ventured out to Rotterdam in the Netherlands today, where there's an amazing facility called the Dutch Pinball Museum. Played a bunch of pinball there. Before I got to Pittsburgh, I spent some time in Boise, Idaho, played some pinball there. We played pinball in Ontario, Oregon. I was in training, if you will. But before we dive into all of those stories and what's going on in my world and the world of pinball from my point of view, I have 5 fast thoughts.
5 fast thoughts.
All right, how could fast thought number 1 not be thank you? Thank you to Replay FX and the Replay Foundation, the Papa folks, everybody. I hate to even start down at the names because I get to Elizabeth, to Doug, to Mark, to Kevin, and it just doesn't even cover it, to Bowen, everybody. What an event. I mean, what an event Replay FX has become as a gaming event, but Pinburg specifically, which of course is the focus of my attention when I'm in Pittsburgh, Pinburg is just a monster that cannot be stopped. It's amazing. I had a blast. I thank everybody on the team for the effort, the time, the energy. Thank you. A really, really amazing time. We'll get more into that shortly. Fast thought number 2, speaking of Pinburg, congratulations to friend of the show, former guest of the show, Colin McAlpine, takes down Pinburg. He was in a Final 4 and a Final 8 even with some heavy hitters, past major champions, past Pinburg champions, and he stared them all down and he took home the trophy. It was really a sight to see. Congratulations to Colin. That is really a guy who shows you what dedication and hard work in this quote sports, Adam, sports. What someone who really dedicates it can do. Congrats to you too, Adam. Top 8. Love that. Fast thought number 3 is a shout out to Dan Burfield and Tilt Cycle based out of Pittsburgh. Good to see Dan. Finally got to meet him in person. Never actually shook hands with him. I have a Flight 2000 playfield sitting in my office at work at the Taylor European headquarters with blinking lights and flashing lights and a bunch of cool inserts. It's a really cool art piece, and I have added another to my collection. It's the playfield out of a rock pinball machine with a surround cut out in the shape of an electric guitar, which is really cool. Didn't actually bring it home with me. Ended up on a flight earlier than I expected. Couldn't take it with me, but I'll get it. We'll ship it. The mail, UPS, somebody. But it looked like Dan had some amazing pieces. If you're into pinball art, if you want something fun or a gift for the pinball fan in your life, check out Tilt Cycle on the interwebs, if you would. Fast thought number 4. I mentioned this earlier. Boise, Idaho. My mom lives about an hour from Boise, Idaho, and I had a free day in Boise. Teresa flew out from Boise ahead of me, and I stayed the evening in Boise and went out and found some pinball. From the last few times I'd been there, it seems like pinball has grown in the city of trees, and that was really nice to see. So good job, Boise. Fast thought number 5. Speaking of pinball on location, I ran into some people at Replay Effects who actually own and operate pinball-oriented businesses. I'm talking about Mark and Dana from Flipside, Adam and Charlotte from North Star, John from Jack Bar, and let me tell you, they all said business is really good. And if there's no better, there is no, I'll get there, bear with me, there is no better barometer of the health of pinball than someone who actually has taken the risk to make their living with a business based around pinball. So they are saying that business is strong, things are going well, and growth is happening. Because I feel like pinball's growing. I feel like it's growing. All these people who are contributing in their own ways into the hobby, and the collectors that still are buying games, and the new games that are coming. I talked to parts manufacturers, light people. They're selling more parts than ever. That's good. Pinball's growing. So anyway, those are my fast thoughts for August 5th, 2017. I have this new keyboard. It's a mechanical keyboard because... So here's the power of like suggestion and salesmanship. I've been listening to these podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts, clearly. It's something I'm into. And I listen to a couple different podcasts from a website called giantbomb.com. It's a video game website. I don't play that much video games, but I love listening to talk about the industry and how it sort of parallels some things in guitars and some things in pinball. And this game has sort of taken people by storm this year called PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. I won't get into the game. I could do a whole show just on that. But what I will tell you is I've never played a PC game in my life. I've never, ever played a game on my computer. I've owned PlayStations. I've owned Nintendo products, all the way back to, Nintendo Entertainment System, Sega Genesis. But I've never been that guy who had a game on my computer with a mouse and the keyboard and the whole thing. But I really wanted to play this game because they were so into it. So I went out and actually bought a, quote, gaming mouse. Teresa's making fun of me through this whole process, by the way. And a mechanical keyboard, which is the proper setup you need for gaming on the PC. And I actually love the keyboard, but it's loud. It's really loud. And I notice I type a lot while I talk during the show as I pull things up. If I'm, forgetting something that I wanted to talk about, I look at my notes and, man, this keyboard is going to give me up. I mean, listen to this keyboard. It's like, that's really loud. I hope I didn't just screw I totally just screwed the recording up. I cut myself off there. So anyway, I don't know what that means other than I have a loud keyboard, and I wanted to talk about that for a brief second.
Trip reports.
Can we talk about Pinburg already? So, Pinburg 2017 is in the books. Colin McAlpine takes it down. I had been live tweeting it. I had this great idea in the days of coming to Pinburg, since I was going to go win Pinburg, that I should live tweet the events. I should literally tweet my victory from the moment I got up in my hotel in Boise, Idaho, got on a plane, and went to Pittsburgh and walked away as champion with the trophy above my head. I would tweet the whole proceedings. Spoiler alert, I did not win anything pinball related in Pittsburgh. I might have won some individual matches here and there, but as far as winning Pinburg, maybe my overconfidence, my grandeur, my self-proclaimed path to victory was really compensating for the fact that way back in the back of my head, I knew something. I knew a truth that was about to be laid out in front of me in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And that was, I'm getting worse at pinball. I'm not playing enough pinball, and I'm certainly not playing enough competitive pinball. And I was really bummed after day one. I have a very good group of friends that I kind of hang with and see and chat with throughout the day at Pinburg. And I have the guys that put up with me for meals and will put up with me needing to know, oh my gosh, how do I play Frankenstein? And then I have the next level of guys who I just chat with and talk to, and they're friendly, and we go, how are you doing? And so I have my support group. And I was really bummed after day one. And I was telling everyone, man, this is rough. I played so bad. It was disheartening. I've made C division at Pinburg. You play one day to qualify into A, B, C, or D, and then day two you play in that division to try and make the top 40 to go to the finals. I've made C Division the last couple years with really good shots at B Division, like really good shots. And I've fallen apart both the last 2 years in C Division and had a shot to make the finals and not done it, choked it away. And this year, I qualified pretty low in the D Division. I was getting slaughtered out there. And I went back to my hotel and thought about it and wallowed in my sorrows with a Diet Coke and some Swedish fish, and thought about like recording a podcast about day one, and immediately thought that was a stupid idea. I was bummed. And I started even like looking about, like I had, booked my flight for Sunday out and everything. I started looking at like flights for Saturday morning because I was like, I'm not going to get anywhere in this tournament. Didn't do that, but I was bummed. And I woke up on day two on the Friday with sort of a better perspective. And this is what I've realized since that moment to now, the more I've thought about my performance at Pinburg. It's a really good thing that I wasn't very competitive at Pinburg. It's a really good thing that I got smoked on a lot of games by a lot of different people at Pinburg. It's fantastic, in fact, because let's just say this. I love pinball. I think everybody who listens to the show knows on some level I love pinball to a degree that I should be much better at it, but I'm not. Okay, fine. Competitive pinball is its own thing, and I like that a lot. But if I were to play as little pinball as I've played in the last, like, say, 9 months, and certainly no tournaments, and then roll into the largest pinball tournament in the world, where there's 800 participants, 796 participants, playing for the most money in pinball tournaments, in a format that really stresses consistency. If just some dude who has a podcast, sometimes has a podcast, who lives, far away from the competitive scene he once sort of knew, and doesn't play a lot of pinball right now because he doesn't have game in his home anymore and he can't get himself out to the locations as